Dear students, today we'll be talking about the novel Untouchable written by Mulk Raj Anand. This is a novel which talks about the pathos and the plights of the caste distinction and the caste system which was prevalent in the pre-independence India. And Mulk Raj Anand becomes the mouthpiece for the downtrodden, for the people who have been subjugated by the society. So not only his Untouchable, his other novels like Coolie, because Untouchable was published in 1935 and Coolie came out in 1936. So Coolie also talks about the pathos of people who are poor in the society, who are class wise below in the society. So he attacks the caste system and the class system of the society. So he becomes the mouthpiece for the poor people, for the people who have been subjugated by the society. Now, before moving into the story of the Untouchable, first let's have a look into Mulk Raj Anand. The timeline is 12 December 1905 to 28 September 2004. And Mulk Raj Anand was one of the predominant figures while writing in Indian writing in English. And he is one among the trios. Mulk Raj Anand, Raja Rao and R.K. Narayan are known for his fiction writing, for their fiction writing actually, and how they presented the pre-independence era at that time, and what was the basic structure of the society at that time. And Mulk Raj Anand had bragged a number of prizes, including the Padma Bhushan. So he was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1968. He was also awarded the International Peace Prize in 1953, and he was also awarded with Sahitya Akademi in 1971. And he had been close touch with Russell, with Yeats, with Eliot, and with E.M. Forster. So we have to not forget this. The Untouchables preface has been written by E.M. Forster. And one more thing that we have to keep in mind is that Mulk Raj Anand, when planned about writing this novel, he was criticized by one of the younger members of the Bloomsbury group. And because of that, he was very disappointed. And then he met Russell, and Russell suggested him to return back to India and meet Mahatma Gandhi, because Gandhi at that time was becoming the name for, or the claim for, India's independence, plus the claim and name for the struggle of the downtrodden people. And that's why he meets Gandhi, and Gandhi reads Untouchable, and Gandhi suggests him to make it more Indian in tone. And that's how you will see that Mulk Raj Anand has used idioms which are Punjabi and which are from Hindi in his texts. Plus, you will also see that and the tone is very much Indian. So this is the essence of Indian writing in English. You can feel the nature of Indianness all around the novel. Plus, when we are talking about this novel, not only Untouchable, in his Coolie also we have talked that how Mulk Raj Anand presents the pathos of the poor people, or the downtrodden people, or the subjugated people. So here in Untouchable, it is the story of a boy named Bhaka, and how he suffers in his situation where he is one of the toilet sweepers. His father is also in the same profession. His name is Lakha, and Lakha and Bhaka, they both go on sweeping toilets, although he is also subjugated by his father, because father does not work hard and he puts all his burden on the shoulders of Bhaka. And this is the story revolves around one day's time. It is in the compass of a day, when whatever Bhaka sees throughout the day, how he suffers throughout the day, and how he feels a pungent hatred in his heart, and how he wants to rebel against all these things. And you see, he is writing, Mulk Raj Anand is writing at that time when there were no proper toilets in India, and because of that, these Untouchables were the people who were addressed as or who were needed for the everyday disposal of the feces. And because of that, you see the life of these Dalits or the Untouchables, as the title suggests, had become very uncomfortable and very plightful. Plus, apart from this, the society was also not recognizing the efforts that they had put. They had to struggle for their life, they had to struggle for a piece of bread and chapati or roti. They had to go out begging from door to door. Many times they got rebukes, many times they were scolded, and many times they did not even get the proper wages for what they were doing. So it all is narrated in this story. And at the end you will see that finally Mahatma Gandhi comes, and Bhaka, when sees Mahatma Gandhi, he goes to hear him, because after all the days time he is depressed and he is all sunken at heart. And when he sees Mahatma, and Mahatma talks about the upliftment of the downtrodden, and he talks about equality which should be there in the society, Bhaka feels very overwhelmed. And then Mahatma, and then he listens people talking in the area around him. Some people are discussing some things, and there he listens, overhears about this new system which is going to come, where the toilets could be flushed and there would be no more struggling with the sweeping of the toilets. So that makes Bhaka realize that okay, there can be a time when they will be liberated from these menial works that they are doing. So let's start with whatever happens in Bhaka's life, and basically it is the recreation of one day in the life of the sweeper that we are talking about. And the main protagonist is Bhaka, but there are several other characters like Lakha, I have already told about, is his father. Then we have Sohini, who is Bhaka's sister, and then we have one Havaldar, Charat Singh, and one colonel, who is Colonel Hutchinson, and there is one Pandit, who is Kalinath, and then obviously Mahatma Gandhi enters. So basically what everyone has the role, what is the role of everyone around here. So when we are talking about the Havaldar Charat Singh, he is a very benevolent man, and he promises Bhaka to give him a hockey stick, because earlier Bhaka had cleaned his toilet, and he does not mind all these class and caste thing, and he is comfortable with Bhaka, and they talk. He also gives him a hockey stick. So see, what Mulkraj Anand wants to say is that from person to person and from their own personal way of treating people, the thought of the society also changes. So Havaldar Charat Singh is a normal kind of person who is a Havaldar in the British Army, and because of the influence of the British Army also, because in Britishers they didn't believe in the caste system, so he also imbibed the same things which he was learning around him, and that's why the Havaldar is a little bit normal towards Bhaka. But when we come to the other members of the society, like the Pandit who is mentioned here, Pandit Kalinath, he is a very dubious man, and he portrays himself as a Pandit, he portrays himself as the person who is a priest and who prays and who is into the God thing and all those things. But when it comes to all the dubious nature or all the hypocrisies of the society, he carries the burden of all the hypocrisies, because you see, he tries to molest Sohini, Bhaka's sister, and when Sohini rebels or when Sohini protests for that, he starts rebuking her, saying that she has actually polluted the Pandit by touching the Pandit. And you see how the dubiousness of the society is represented here, because once you touch an untouchable, it was thought that you become polluted. And because of that, Bhaka also got a nice thrashing from one of the person while he accidentally ran into a person in the streets, and that person was so much exasperated by this that he beats Bhaka and rebukes Bhaka, and finally he is saved by a Muslim man coming there, because in Muslims also they never believed in the class system. And then we come to the incident where Sohini is being molested by Kalinath, and when she rebels or she rebukes, Kalinath starts in the other hand addressing her as the person who had polluted the temple, because she had climbed up the temple steps, and we have to not forget that Kalinath only asked her to come and clean the temple, and when she comes he tries to molest her, and after that puts all the blame on her head, saying that she has polluted the temple and she has polluted Kalinath. So this is the hypocrisy of the society. And then there is one another Britisher who is mentioned here. He is Colonel Hutchinson. Hutchinson does not believe in caste system. So he invites Bhaka to come to church, and he says that there is no discrimination in church. Anyone can enter there and there is no untouchability there as such. So Bhaka is very pleased and he goes there. But as soon as he wants to enter, there comes Mary Hutchinson, who is the wife of this colonel, and she starts giving disgusting looks to Bhaka and rebuking him, saying that whoever a sweeper or a person from lower caste or the person who is not eligible or fit to their standards, Hutchinson keeps on inviting such kind of people to the church, and this makes Bhaka more ashamed, and he feels that all the people are same everywhere. It depends upon their own individuality and their personalities how they treat a person. It is beyond the arena of religion, or it is beyond the arena of religion. It is basically into the mindset of each and every individual. And then finally at last he goes to hear about the Mahatma's speech, and he is very much moved by the speech, and he feels that there is hope for them, and he comes home and narrates everyone about the incident, that there are now flush toilets going to be made which will finally redeem them from their menial life. So this is all about Untouchable, and I've just given you a brief input into the story, because it's obviously not possible to narrate line by line whatever the incidents were there in the novel, but it gives you a little bit of the look into the story of how Mulk Raj Anand probes deeper into one day's life. It's just one day's life in Bhaga's day-to-day everyday life, and how one day is so much pitiful. So what about he suffering all the 365 days, and not only he, his generation to generations have been suffering. His father is in the same thing, and he has to also do the same thing, because it is nothing that you can choose. It is a burden which you will carry throughout your birth, because from generation to generation the untouchability will be levied upon your heads and your shoulders. You see, even at one point there is one incident mentioned in the text where Bhaka is very thirsty and wants to drink water, but they cannot go to the well and take out water themselves because they are untouchable. They cannot touch the well. That's why Sohini goes and she is standing there waiting for someone to have pity on her and give her some water into her pot. And then only Pandit Kalinath comes and gives her water, saying that in return she must clean the temple premises, and when she goes there he tries to molest her. So you see what is the hypocrisy of the society. You cannot touch anyone. If you touch anyone you will get rebukings or beatings and thrashings, and you cannot drink water from the same well where people are drinking water. You are forced into a profession even if you don't want to do that, and you are forced to do menial works, and then also you have to go begging for alms and begging for rotis and begging for chapatis, and it is up to the whims and fancies of the people if they give you food or not. So that was the plight and pathos of the untouchables, which Mulk Raj Anand brings to the forefront in his text. So that is all about Untouchable, and I'm sure you must have understood what is there in this text. If you have been benefited by the video, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you.